Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope that this audio is going to be okay because I'm not using my mic, but I think it should be fine. I wanted to do a quick collective energy update. I'm going to try to do these updates whenever I feel called to do them. I'm basically tapping into the collective energy and letting you know what's going on, especially because we are in the midst of what are they calling it, a pandemic. So a lot of us are on lockdown right now, and a lot of people are just wondering, what's happening with the collective. So I'll be tapping in and kind of giving you the updates. So I already pulled cards, and I gave a brief summary of this on my Twitter account, but I actually deactivated my Twitter account because the energy was just too much for right now. So I deactivated just to preserve my energy. All right, so let me jump right into it. So, what I was seeing within the collective energy, I was tapping into a few positive things that are taking place. So, first off, finances. Even though a lot of people are being negatively impacted financially, this is actually helping a lot of people in a way that they can't see it yet. Okay, so basically, what I was seeing is that a lot of people have been living paycheck to paycheck, right? They have been struggling trying to make ends meet. And when it comes to finances and wealth and things of that sort, a lot of it has a lot to do with the subconscious mind. So, for example, if you grew up in poverty and you always heard repeatedly, money doesn't grow on trees, we don't have enough money for that, getting rich is damn near impossible. Like those messages that are kind of repeated throughout your life, like hearing them, or just even seeing your family struggle and seeing how hard it is to make money, like seeing your parents come home and they're exhausted and they've exerted all their energy into their job and yet they can still barely make ends meet. Those things imprint a very strong subconscious message that money is just difficult to come by and that abundance is not something that you can obtain, and that actually perpetuates itself into people's lives as adults to the point where they are repeating these cycles. And again, I'm not trying to say, because I have to make this clear, I'm not trying to say like, oh, it's all in your mind, you're struggling financially because of you, because obviously there are other systematic things that come into play that keep people in poverty. But just stay with me for the sake of what I'm saying. um, that subconscious programming is being restructured through what's going on with the coronavirus. Okay. A lot of phone companies, like the phone bills companies, the I know the gas companies, like where I'm at, like the electric and gas company, these companies are basically waiving their fees for the month. And a lot of what would it be called, landlords are waiving the rent for the month as well because people are not able to work. So basically what's happening here is that this is the first time for a lot of people that they are going to be able to bypass a bill and not worry about it. And that is huge for restructuring the subconscious mind when you've been living paycheck to paycheck, when you've been struggling. It actually, this shift, or that one bill that you don't have to worry about, actually more than one, because I'm seeing in my mind's eye, I'm seeing it's like more than one. Like a lot of people are like, oh, thank God I don't have to pay my phone bill. And next thing you know, their landlord tells them, like, oh, hey, you don't have to pay the rent this month. So it's more than one. And it's doing something to people's subconscious minds that helps them to feel more at ease when it comes to finances. It's almost like they are their mind is being restructured with the affirmations, all is well, everything is taken care of, abundance comes easily, my bills are taken care of, and it's being kind of imprinted on there with these fees being waived, because it's a very big deal. Your landlord, that's like the person who, it's a big deal. Like, that's the person who every month you go to and you give over damn near half of your check. That's like your life force. You put your energy into making that money in that currency. So you give a lot of energy to your landlord every month. So you can imagine the landlord saying, we're waiving it for the month. It's like they're giving that energy right back to you. And it does restructure the subconscious mind in a major way. It's like so hard for me to explain what I'm seeing. It's like really imprinting on people's minds to the point where when everything starts to rev back up, meaning like when people start to leave their homes normally again and things of that sort, working again and things of that sort, that subconscious programming is still going to be there, and a lot of people are going to start acquiring a lot more financial abundance through that subconscious programming that has been imprinted through what's going on while we are in lockdown or shutdown, whatever you want to call it. So it was a very beautiful message that came through because I was specifically seeing people who have just struggled so much financially, and it's going to be such a subtle shift. It's like people won't even notice it. It's like these are the people who they've really been working very hard to provide for their families, and they want some type of supplemental income. Like maybe they want to start like a side job, or maybe they want to go for that promotion at their job, but maybe their subconscious programming is stopping them from doing that. You know, that idea that abundance is not for them, or that it's too hard to obtain, that they have lived their whole lives, was stopping them. And they come out of this quarantine or this shutdown, and it's kind of like, maybe I should go after that promotion, or maybe I will go ahead and and start that, supplemental income, that side business. And it's like it comes so naturally to them now, and they won't, a lot of them won't understand, a lot of you won't understand that that's even the reason for it, because it's so subtle. But you're going to see, like you're just going to see. It was a very beautiful message. The best analogy, I guess, or metaphor I can give is I saw like people who have been struggling so much, and God has been like saving up like a secret bank account for them. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, saving up like a secret bank account. And when they feel like they're down and out and they need it the most, the bank account comes. And God's like, here you go. I've been saving this for you this whole time. You thought you were down and out, but you're not. That's the image that I was getting for this. So very, very beautiful message that came through for that. I also did pull cards for the people who are just being very reckless and who are literally just being reckless, just going to the beach, still going outside, not quarantining, like just not care, just not caring, I mean, at all. I just saw like a bunch of them being interviewed in Miami Beach, and they were just like, yeah, we came down here to party, we didn't want to miss, the part, like just ridiculous shit. Like, I'm an empath, okay, so excuse me, but things like that irritate me, because just as an empath, I'm kind of like, think about people who you could, just because your immune system is up to par, think about the people whose are not, and you could spread it to them despite you not caring to put your own life in jeopardy. Think about other people's lives. So I was very irritated by that. But at the same time, I do understand as well as an empath. So I see everybody's point of view. So I also know that people who lack empathy in that way, they just don't know any better. Like they really don't. They haven't had enough life experience, or they haven't had enough lifetimes here to be able to walk in people's shoes. And because I have a chronic illness, and I know what it's like to be in and out of the hospital and not have uh, a normal life because of having a weakened immune system and having to take precaution and things of that sort. It's like I can see very clearly, the risk that is being taken here, but that they cannot. So I can see it from different perspectives, but I did pull cards for those people. And basically what my guides were showing me, very interesting, that these people are just doing what society has always encouraged them and applauded them to do. So us as a society, we applaud this selfish, narcissistic behavior. It's all about me, me, me. I need to focus on me and get to the top. It doesn't matter who I step on. And society will reward you for that, whether it be like socially rewarded, like people love to reward a savage. But God forbid you're like a vulnerable, sensitive person who gets heartbroken easily, you'll get clowned and made fun of. But if you're a savage who can cut off people and not care and be cold-hearted, then that's fine. Like, then you get a pat on the back. People see that as strength. And it's not. It's not. It is in some situations, but the way that society has been abusing that concept, it's been very harmful and detrimental to us as a society, because it literally has turned into this dog eat dog world. It hasn't turned into that. It's been that. But from what I'm hearing from my guides is that it's gotten really bad. Like, it's gotten extremely bad to the point where people are becoming way too narcissistic and way too selfish. It's not from a place of self-love, this selfishness. It's from a place of ego and it being encouraged by society to be egomaniacs pretty much. So like I said, they may be socially rewarded for it, like, people praise this type of behavior, but they might also be financially rewarded. Like if they're willing to step on people to get to the top in their career, that's rewarded. You know what I'm saying? So this type of narcissistic selfish behavior has been rewarded far too long, and it's basically being shown, like a spotlight being shown on this as of right now. You could see this narcissistic behavior so clearly, by these people who are kind of like, I'm not taking this seriously. I still want to party. And then there's like the elderly who are scared to death. And these people who, are in grocery stores, like stocking up on all this water and tissue and not leaving any for anyone else. And then you see the pictures of, like, again, the elderly coming in and trying to find, what's ever left, because they can't afford to, like, or they can't push through the crowds and rack up things like everyone else can. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you get to see firsthand how out of control society has become with their narcissistic behavior, with the panic buying, which also the panic buying too, I'll say that you can give some people a pass with that, because when people are in a crisis, they want to feel a sense of control, and some people have been panic buying so they can feel like they're in control. So we can give a pass to some people that they literally are just losing control. But again, it still does shine a light on the narcissism of it all, and just how people are just, yeah, they're just willing to think only of themselves, and everyone else is an afterthought. So a light's being shined on that, and the good news is that a lot of people see this now. They see how terrible this has become, and so there's going to be a lot more selflessness that's created through this time period. Let's see here. Trying to see what else is coming through. I was seeing that a lot of people are getting a much needed rest from work, but I think that that's kind of a given. Um, a lot of family time, and I think I may have mentioned that in my past video as well. A lot of family time, which I'm seeing, which is good. There are a lot of also connections, though, that were supposed to end, and this is shining a spotlight on those as well, which is to be expected. I mean, I just read somewhere that um, there was like 88 couples in China that, when they were quarantined together, as soon as they were able to leave their home, like quarantine, they immediately filed for divorce. And that kind of lets you know, like, everything you need to know. Sometimes connections are already dead and you're already not with the right person. And it takes something like this to really see it. I know I saw some people, online, which it was making me really upset. On Twitter, there were some people, well, one person specifically said that, my boyfriend refuses to, stop inviting company over, even though my immune system is weak and I could catch the virus. And I asked him to stop inviting company over, and he basically said, like, you're overreacting. Like, I'm not going to stop inviting company over, like, you're being dramatic. And I'm just like, yeah, you need to dump that person. Like, that's not your boyfriend, period. And it's just very upsetting. Very upsetting. These sort of things, people's true colors really, really do come out. Like refusing like, it just really goes to show the people who are not supposed to be in your life. It really does go to show that. So although that's not necessarily a positive message, it kind of is. I also was seeing, because, well, let me explain. It's not a positive message, but it kind of is, because these people don't need to be in your life anyway if this quarantine or this lockdown is showing their true colors. I was also seeing personal contracts ending. This could be work related. I know that there are some spiritual contracts that this could be referring to, and again, that could be connections, like connections that were supposed to end a long time ago. Maybe there was like a spiritual contract that you were supposed to teach each other a certain thing, and it expired a long time ago, and people were still trying to hold on to it. Those could be expiring indefinitely during this quarantine. And that's not to put fear into anyone's heart. I feel like if that message was meant for you, you would already know this. This isn't something that will come as a surprise. But I also was seeing like karmic / universal contracts. Like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to describe this. It's like the things that go on in our lives, right? On an individual level, we can play out karma with other people, but us as a collective, we're all interconnected. So therefore, we can create collective karma. Like if we take part in something collectively for a very long time, we can all reap the karma of that. Like trying to figure out the best way to explain this. Basically, the collective energy that's being put out, it will be given back. So, for example, as a collective, not taking care of the earth will have serious repercussions. You see what I'm saying? For all of us, because it's collective energy. So it's like personal one-on-one things that we have to go through, that we can play out karma and all that, but there's some things that we go through collectively. And it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because sometimes we can have to face the collective karma, even if you're someone who goes against the majority and you try to, like, you know, speak out against harmful things that the collective does, and they still do it anyway, then we still would, have to, because it's collective karma. Unfortunately, but all of us are learning through this experience. All of us are growing through this experience, even though that it seems extremely scary. It is very serious. This is a major shift that has taken place. And I know it's so funny because people were all like, oh, the spiritual community keep talking about this shift. What shift? It's a shift every day for y'all. And I'm like, okay, well, here it is. And you see, because this is not, once this is over with, this isn't something that you just go back to just living the way that you did. Like, everyone is basically creating new neural pathways for themselves, because of the routines that we had to switch up. Like, even the way that people are becoming so what would the word be? Not focused. The word just slipped my mind. The way that people are honing in on their health, like they're like taking their vitamins, taking their supplements, focusing on healing the nervous and immune system, looking up like fruits that strengthen your immune system, asking for recipes of smoothies that strengthen your immune system, and things of that sort. It's like, those things don't just go away, like, after all this is said and done with, because it's going to be locked into a lot of people's minds. It's going to become a part of their routine. So this could shift some people's health for the better. Because, like I said, it's like locking into their minds, and it's going to, for a lot of people, these patterns of focusing on health is going to continue even after this passes. That the same goes with being very mindful about disinfecting your home, being mindful of keeping your distance from people out in public so that they can't, like, call for sneeze on you. Like, these things are embedded now, and again, they are going to stand true long after this is over. I just got a message from my guides about sexual intercourse as well. Sorry if this is TMI, but I'm seeing from my guides safer sex being practiced after this is over. I'm not sure why. I guess just everyone's going to turn into everyone has turned into a germaphobe, and even practicing safer sex. And I'm hearing not just safer sex as in condoms, using condoms and things of that sort, but also just hygiene when it comes to sex. Like, I know that on Twitter, I once heard somebody say, do y'all wash y'all hands before sex or after? And somebody was like, you're supposed to do both. Like, you're about to touch your partner, like, supposed to touch your wife or your husband or your spouse, or like, you should probably be doing both. And people are going to be much more aware of that. So sorry if that's TMI, but that's definitely what I was seeing. It's just shifting. It's shifting a lot. It's shifting a whole lot. I do see a lot more empathy for the elderly, a lot more empathy for children, which is always a good thing. And just overall a lot more empathy for each other. Some people will learn nothing from this, is what I'm hearing. It's not that they will learn nothing, but they will, the lessons that I'm speaking about, it kind of will go right past their heads. And even they serve a purpose, though. Even the people who learn nothing, even they serve a purpose, because observing their behavior will kind of teach you what not to do, pretty much. So even they serve a purpose, even if they themselves don't learn from what's taking place here. So I think that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was helpful, and I will be back whenever I feel the need to do another energy update. Bye.